Hey, it's Jace from Sorcery Contested Realm, and today I'm talking with Sorcery's lead software engineer, Reuben, who is also the creator and maintainer of Sorcery's official deck builder at Curiosa.io. Reuben, thanks so much for taking some time from your busy schedule to come talk to us, and why don't you take a second and introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Reuben, aka Flying Lemu on the Discord channel for people that know me there. Um, yeah, I think it could start with a little bit of background. I came across Eric and the team in the Sorcery game way back during the Kickstarter. It was actually the day after the Kickstarter closed. I happened to watch the Team Covenant stream where they were talking about, hey, everyone check this game out, go back to Kickstarter. And it was devastating that I missed it by a day. Mistakes were made. So I ended up sending Eric an email, being a bit of a trier of things, and sent him an email saying, hey, if anyone drops out of Kickstarter, I'll take their place. Because I'd never done Kickstarter, I didn't know how it worked. So I thought maybe that would fly. And I also put at the end of the email, and by the way, I'm a software developer, and if you ever want something done, I'm your guy. And he actually pretty quickly replied saying, "Yeah, no, that's not how Kickstarter works." And yeah, cool, good luck. Maybe we'll talk to you sometime. And then fast forward about 4 or 5 months. I just had the idea to make a deck builder. I've been playing card games my whole life, Magic and Flesh and Blood and Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all of those ones. It's been a huge part of growing up and a huge amount of fun I've had. So yeah, I decided to make a deck builder and cracked into Curiosa. And then a few months on, Eric and Simon actually got in touch and said, "Hey, we love what you're doing. We love this. Can we get involved? Can we make this an official thing?" And I thought it was hilarious. I hopped on a call with Eric and told him, "Do you remember that email you got the day after the Kickstarter closed?" Yeah, that's me. So yeah, that was a cool way to meet the team. But yeah, a year or so on from then, here we are with a pretty substantive deck building system. There's collection management in there. You've got great ways to find and explore decks, community decks, and you can really see what people are playing and what people are finding fun, and go wild, and hopefully make it a lot easier to build decks, get inspiration, and manage your collection online.
And you are like I definitely think we can say like a unique mortal of exceptional talents, in that you run this as a solo show essentially, building this up from the ground.
Yeah. So that was quite an undertaking for me as well. That was really just wanting to test myself as a software developer and see if I could do the full end-to-end process. And it was a lot of learning. I mean, that first 4 or 5 months when I didn't work for the company, obviously, had a full-time job. I was working my day job and then probably cracking into Curiosa for 5 or 6 hours a night, and pretty much all weekend. So I got really obsessed. I've got quite an obsessive personality, and
Some
I
things
like
never change, right?
yeah, I like to challenge myself. So um, yeah, I was pretty low on sleep for a while there, but yeah, so it was a real relief getting hired to come work for the company and have Curious become an official thing, because it felt like I could go back to working one job, as hard out as I like to put in and try and make Curious awesome. It's a lot easier doing it that way than doing it in your free time.
Well, so let's dive in here. So if people maybe are new to Sorcery, and this is their first time hearing that there is an official deck builder, how would they find Curiosa.io? And let me pull this up. I guess how would they find it? I guess you would go to
I guess you would
Curiosa.
go to Curiosa.io. Yeah, that would probably be the way. There's a number of other ways you can get there. It's featured on our website on SorceryTCG.com in a bunch of different places. Once you're here, the first thing you're going to see, actually, I'm logged in, so no, I won't log me out. The first thing you're going to see as a new person, you're going to see the community decks, because you won't have the My Decks section above. So this is showing all of the decks in the last, for, what does it look like, 37 minutes, that people have been making. So there's a lot going on in here within a half-hour period. There's all these decks being updated, and you can actually tick over to look at trending decks too. And trending decks as a concept is really just the decks that people are looking at in the last 30 days. So it's the decks with the most views in the last 30 days.
So especially if you're getting started with Sorcery with such a big card pool, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, right? You don't know where to start with building your decks. So having the trending feature allows people to really jump in and see what other people are doing to get an idea of, what might be popular metas or the ways people are approaching certain decks. If I was entirely new and I wanted to start looking at, I want to find a deck, and maybe I saw a particular avatar and I was like, man, I've been hearing all this stuff about like the battle mage. How would I maybe find other decks related to that?
Yeah, so that would be where you could even head there from here. I'll take us right there. This takes you to the decks link, and you've got this full deck library searching system here. So when you're logged in, you get these extra options, like you can look at your own decks you've made, decks from people you follow, decks you've liked. But you don't have to do that. You can just use these sorting features up here. But this is the one I wanted to highlight. You can choose a particular avatar. So if we take a look at Battle Mage, this is going to show us just the Battle Mage decks. So you can see there's 218 on Curiosa at the moment. And I'm sorting these by the ones that have been most recently updated, which is probably the best way to look at decks for the most part, because it shows decks that people are actively playing. A lot of the time people make decks and then don't touch them for 6 months, right. And it gets wildly out of date. It's 2 sets behind and it's missing all these different cards, or it's just junk in general. But this will show decks that people are actively working on. But what you can also do in there is you can take a look at trending decks, like we saw on the homepage. So again, this will show specifically the Battle Mage decks that have had the most views in the last 30 days, or ordered by that. So you can also do that for any avatar, obviously. So you can have a look at the Avatar of Air decks that people are viewing and playing, the Pathfinder decks people are viewing and playing, and then you've got another way of sorting these here on all-time popularity, which is, I find, not that useful, but it's just kind of cool. It's pretty cool to be the deck builder of one of the decks. Yeah, so the classic is Pathfinder's Revenge by Zachary here. That's, had 3,500 views compared to some of these other ones. So the problem there is it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If a deck has 3,000 views, people are more likely to look at it, which then is going to give it more views. So I don't find it's the most useful thing for actually playing a good deck, like the right deck.
Can't help but notice that a lot of the ones that are the most popular trending on all time are ones that we've also done feature articles on the SorceryTCG.com website, where you can go to the news and search by guides and see those with feature articles and write-ups.
Another thing I was going to say there is that you'll notice, especially in all-time and trending, there's a bit of a theme that most of these you see have this little badge showing that they have a primer. So a primer is basically a discussion point about how to play the deck. People write these. They talk about the different matchups, what you want to do in the early game, how it plans to win, kind of what went into making it, some possible card changes that they'd recommend. So people find those really, really useful. It's a great way to sort of think through the reasons why you even made the deck and help you make the deck better as you write out those details. But it's also really useful for helping other people play it, and tends to garner more views and help you kind of get up that trending list and into the all-time popular ones.
No, not a requirement, but it certainly helps, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We might look at some decks. I get an idea of some things that we're seeing. That's pretty cool. But then maybe I want to start building my own deck, right? Yeah. So then how do we dive into that?
Yeah, cool. So I'll take us into one of my decks. So this is my real account that I have been doing some deck building on recently. So don't judge me too harshly. I like to make fun decks more than, the best decks.
Yeah,
Um,
Pudge Butcher's dragging me through walls of fire. Fun, fun for you.
exactly. I mean, I think that was this deck, the flying spaghetti monster.
Oh yes.
um, so the one I've been really enjoying recently is this one called Infinite Fireballs. I'll take you in there. Oh, looks like I've got some settings on. In here, this is where you'd go to edit a deck. But if you're making a new one, let's do that from scratch. You just click this new deck. Chase is on the case. And let's have an Avatar of Earth deck for constructed.
Don't judge me, folks.
Private. Private and public decks, you can still share both of them with your friends, and you can still play both of them in the tabletop simulator mod. But as it says here, private decks here just won't appear in the various public views like the homepage or that deck library. So if we make this one, from here, if you know exactly what you want, you can just use this quick add. But the quick basics I wanted to show you, we won't do too much building here, where there's this whole embedded edit mode. So if you click over to that, you actually have the entire card library embedded inside the deck builder, and a view of your deck in progress over here on the right. So if we wanted to do a quick little bit of filtering, let's say I want to have Earth minions that are only ordinary. You can see there's only 14 of those. And I can take a quick look here and just do a little quick add. Let's say I want 4 of those, and let's say I want Bone Rabbles in the sideboard. Oh, I missed the button. That's how you do that, and you see it appear over here on the right, and you see it gets this highlight to show that it's in the deck when you're viewing it. So that'd be how you fill out your deck, and then when you go back here, you've obviously got the whole thing here. You hover over anything, and you get to see the image for it over here on the right. And when you're ready, you can head over here and create a primer for other people to enjoy and learn how to play your deck. There's this primer guide section that's going to give you a bit of instructions on exactly how to write a useful primer and some embeds that you can do. Like you can embed the exact card name when you're talking about a card, so that when people hover over it, they get the little view of it.
And you can also link videos in there, right, as well. And we've had content creators that have done full-on episodes where they go really into depth. They do a written primer here, and they link their YouTube video.
Yeah,
people can get multiple ways to experience their decks.
Yeah, so that's just the double squiggly brackets here. And yeah, no one check what video that is.
What is that? Oh.
I actually don't remember, but I'm sure it's something weird.
Oh dear. Disclaimer, Sorcery is not liable for the...
Yeah.
All right, so we can build some decks, we can make them private, we can make primers to help the community out. But, I was actually at a draft recently, and I got a stack of cards that I haven't even sorted really. But I know I want to add them to my collection and keep track of what I've got. And heck, maybe I'd even want to take all my draft cards and just try and build some decks just using what I have here. But before we get to that, if I want to just add these cards to my collection and keep track of what I actually have, how would I do that? I've got my Commercials of Moo and my flaming sword here.
Yeah, so you'd go over here to this My Collection area. You can see I've actually got a collection already, but it's a bit of
I'm going to mess with it here.
Just delete it.
Oh, dear. That was a traumatic moment just there. Just delete collection.
Yeah, don't do that if you have a real collection. A lot of people I've found have thousands and thousands and thousands of cards that they've spent a lot of time getting those in there. So don't mess around with that delete collection button. Yeah, coming here for the first time, you can see all you need to do is click Get Started to get your collection set up. And what you've got is this view very similar to the deck builder. So I've tried to make these patterns as consistent as possible, so it's an easy application to use. You've got this view mode where you've got the ability to quick add, but you've also got this full embedded edit mode where again you get the whole card library, and a list of your collection will hydrate over here as you fill it out. and you can click through them, open them up, and choose the exact printing of the card that you want to track in your collection. But for your things, how many cards have you got there that you want to?
Let's just do 2. I mean, I got a stack, but let's do 2. This would be like a 3-hour
Yeah.
video otherwise. I've got a Skirmishers of Mu,
Yep, cool.
and I've got Flaming Sword.
So Skirmishes of Mu and Flaming Sword.
Beta card, and it's non-foil. And both of them are beta cards.
So there we've got the Skirmisher of Mu, and then we want the Flaming
Sword.
Again, beta non-foil, I imagine?
Beta non-foil. I kind of roll as the everyman here. I know there's some people that have full sets of foil stuff they're rolling out in games, but I'm still going regular.
Now with a few of those, we can quickly go. I can quickly show how the bulk ad works as well, because I think that's a really useful one for people to know. So you can do a form of bulk ad by just interacting with your cards in your collection here. So if you open that, you're gonna see the set they're from, and then if you open that, you're gonna see your various items from that set. So I've got one Nearman. It just defaults to that. You can change that.
Okay.
But one Nearman beta Flaming Sword. If I go into Quick Edit, you get these extra buttons over here. So I can delete them. I can add more beta Flaming Swords. You've got this little lightning bolt thing. So this is going to allow me to bulk add for that specific.
Cool.
That specific card in that specific set. So you could have like 100 of those if you wanted. I won't do that.
You're the Flaming Sword guy. Like there's the Grey Wolves people, but you're just like, I'm the Flaming Sword guy.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a lot of people just absolutely cracking down on the alpha violence, and they've got like 1,000. I can understand that's such a cool art. So that would be how you do sort of the bulk ad for very specific things, one at a time. However, what you can do over here in edit mode is you can actually fill out any custom search. So let's say we want the beta artifacts. For whatever reason, you've got all the beta artifacts. Okay. And maybe we don't want the foils, so we just want the standard version. So it looks like there's 51 of those. You see this popped up here, bulk ad. I can click that, and it's going to give me the full list of those, and I can just add those to my collection. So you can do that on any search. You can search a specific card, so you can be like, let's have a look at all the mortal from alpha. So you could actually, this is a good time to show you that there are these advanced search options as well. So you can come in here and select mortal from the subtypes, and you could have the look at just cards from a specific artist, or power over whatever or under whatever. You can do all of that, or you can just search the keyword. So this search is going to search anywhere on the card. So if I search mortal here, I can add all of those, and that's going to grab the ones in the precon deck from alpha, the foil ones, and the non-foil ones, because I haven't specified there, and it'll load to my collection.
Fantastic.
And then back in our deck we created, wait, my deck's here. The chase is on the case.
I'm on the case one. Now I'll do some deck building.
From within here, you now have the ability to, if you've got a collection, you can track your collection, which really just means show me if I do or don't have that card in the deck in my collection. So if I click that, looks like I've got none of these.
I'm already off to a bad start here, but I can trade lots of, I think we put 100 flaming swords, so maybe I can trade for what I want with other people.
Hold on, if I reload that, didn't I add Amazon Warriors? 3 in my, so I've got 3 in my collection, but I've got 4 in my deck list, so that's why it's showing me I don't have enough Amazon Warriors. So if we tick that down, let's say we're only going to play 3, see that's gone blue. And in here you can see, yep, I've got enough Amazon Warriors. So that's the quick way to see. And you don't have to do that on your own deck. You can actually do that on any deck. So when you're looking at any old deck list, you can enable collection tracking and see exactly which cards you'd need to get a hold of if you wanted to make that deck.
And then I'd say probably one other big thing here that maybe people might not be aware of is, so for example, you, but many other community members as well, can come up with like really creative decks, right? And I might be like, man, that flying emu guy, he really has a really cool approach to building decks. I want to just like follow him and make sure that when he's making new stuff that I'm aware of it. How do you follow people in this ecosystem?
So let's find someone to follow. Who's gonna get highlighted?
Let's find a trending deck here. Oh yeah, let's see.
Go to some of the trending decks. I really like Avatar of Fire, so I want to find. I can't read. There we go. I want to find someone who's making a trending Avatar of Fire deck. So hey, I got the second one. That's cool. So let's check out Zachary. So in here, you can see all the decks they've made. You can sort them on how recently trending they are, or the all-time popularity. And you can also see this list of their followers and the list of the people that they're following and some of the achievements they've got. And if I want to follow Zachary, I can just hit follow here. He's now going to be in my followed list. So if I look at my profile, it looks a little different when it's when you're looking at it yourself, because it shows your collection as well. But in here, if I go see all decks, I can see the trending decks that I'm following. Zachary's in there now as well. I can see all of Zachary's trending decks.
He's got a few. He's like a power user here. He's got a few big ones there.
Well, all of their public decks. Yeah. So that'd be how you'd follow someone that you really like their style.
Fantastic. And so, we are always looking to improve and grow as the game grows and the community grows. And you've been putting in like a ton of time building out this awesome system here. Are there any? I don't know if we can answer this. Any things in the future that we should be waiting for, or
there's some cool things. There's definitely some cool things. I don't think I can talk about too many of them. Some of the more, what's a more tame one? If you look at in your collection, you see this little thing here, trades and wish lists coming soon. So what I want to do is have the ability to mark certain cards in your collection as being available for trade. And then you'll be able to share your trades list with people so they can see exactly what you're looking for. And same with wish lists. Exactly what you're up for trade, and share a wish list of what you're looking for. So I think that will be really helpful for facilitating trades with people and keeping track of what you're looking for and what you have to trade. And the other one I wanted to mention was in a deck. At the moment, if I look at any old deck, I'll turn off collection tracking. In here, you see this little simulator of drawing a hand, and you can go, what does the hand look like with a few more cards, and sort of imagine the first few turns.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to do is extend this a little bit so you have a playtest simulator, so you could go in and play out the first 4 or 5 turns and put cards down and actually see what it's going to look like and get a real feel for playing the deck before you commit to hunting those cards down and building it in real life.
That'd be great. Well, and I know you're always constantly working and improving on things and iterating, and that in the Sorcery Discord, we do have a Curiosa.io channel, which are often kind of bouncing back with community members. Sometimes there's some problem solving there. Otherwise, you're maybe bouncing ideas of new features, so people can connect with you there. And thanks so much for taking time from all your development and hard work to come on and talk with us in the community a little bit about how to better use Curiosa.io. And for any new people just getting here, dive on in, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, thanks, Jace. Yeah, I'd love for people to jump into that Curiosa channel in the Discord and suggest things that they think would improve it and point out any issues they find. It's actually really helpful for developing a good system. It's the kind of the community building the system they want.
Yeah. And to everyone watching, thanks again for tuning in, and good luck contesting the realm.